Mike Bohn here in Abu Dhabi with the head of the New England Cartel, Mr. Tyson Chartier. Man, co-coach of the year for MMA Junkie. How's it feel?
No, it feels great, man. I appreciate it. Recognition comes with hard work and the guys being successful. So I'm parlaying their success into awards for myself. I just feel blessed to be around two good fighters like them. The awards are going to come when they're knocking guys out like they are.
Yeah, and I know, obviously you guys have been putting in the work for years. You work hard, you do everything, behind the scenes to kind of get that public recognition. Was there something that clicked over the course of this year, or was it just the right fights, the right spots, and obviously, the right performances?
I think it was a perfect storm. It was the pandemic hitting right at the time where these guys, especially Calvin, was about to make his run, and it got us to dial in and really kind of trim the fat on everything that we had going on. It really had us kind of reflect and figure out how to tighten up the camp, and get everything a little bit tighter, a little bit more refined, and really made us kind of internalize, all right, what do we have to do to take this next step? And it was really just looking inside the circle and keeping it tight and kind of taking the next step. And then with Rob coming back off the injury, it was just put a huge cap on 2020.
It seems like this is just laying the groundwork for an even bigger 2021. I mean, couldn't kick it off any bigger with Calvin fighting Max Holloway in the main event this weekend. Just your thoughts on this fight. Do you really like this matchup for him?
It's a big moment opportunity. That's what Calvin asks for, and that's what he earned. We're fighting arguably the GOAT of the featherweight division. Calvin's fighting the number one guy. He's going to take that number one spot, and he can't be denied a title shot if he goes out and finishes Max Holloway.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. He was fairly humble about it when I asked him. But as far as you, I mean, any doubt in your mind you get the win, especially if you're able to, get a very definitive performance here, maybe finish Max, which not many people have been able to do. Is that going to be it?
I mean, I know we're not in Washington, D.C., but there's a lot of politicians in MMA. So, we go out and knock Max Holloway out. We earned a title shot. Doesn't mean we're going to get it because people could politic their way up the food chain and try to pass us. But, I mean, I don't think there's anybody that could use common sense and say that if we go and beat Max Holloway that we don't deserve a title shot on a 3-fight win streak, finishing probably the greatest of all time in the featherweight division.
Yeah, and I asked Calvin a similar thing. I mean, you look back at the Zabit fight, I know he was disappointed with the way that went, but what's been the evolution you've seen in him from then to now?
Oh, it's mental growth. He's always had the physical attributes. We're still sharpening those tools and adding new ones, but it's just been all mental growth for him. He had 2 wins since then. The goal was 3. Next Saturday, that'll be the 3rd one. He's just confident in his skill set. He's more confident in his team, and he understands, that one got away from him, and he doesn't ever want to have that, taste in his mouth again.
Fair play. And as far as Rob Font, I mean, I just spoke with him. He said he wants TJ Dillashaw next, coming off that Marlon Moraes win. Do you like that fight for him?
I love it. I mean, there's no bad matchups for Rob Font. He just knocked out the scariest striker in the division with the jab. He made that guy tired from the bottom. So, I mean, there's really no bad matchup for Rob. He's one of the longest guys in the division. He has the best jab in the bantamweight division, maybe even in the UFC. Arguable who has a better jab at him and Calvin. His wrestling's getting better every camp. His jiu-jitsu's always been good, and he's grown a lot mentally over the year. You go through a major injury like that, which was the first major injury he ever had, and he came back and proved that he's a contender in the division. I think he's earned the right to fight someone like TJ Dillashaw, and TJ Dillashaw is not going to want that fight because Rob's the dark horse of the division. He's kind of the guy everybody's going to want to stay away from now because, maybe he's not an ex-champ. He doesn't have that huge following yet. So they're going to be like, well, what's the upside in beating Rob? They're going to say there's none. But the downside is you're probably in the toughest fight in the top 5. But the reality is, TJ, he did cheat. I mean, he's got to come back from that and, kind of reap what he sowed. He shouldn't be able to call the shots now. He came back, he made a mistake, he owned up to it, he paid his time, I'll give him credit for that. But he shouldn't be in a position to call any shots. He should have to fight who they put in front of him to earn his way back, and I think that should be Rob Font.
There we go. And last thing, what can we see outside of these two guys with the team in 2021? Anyone we should know about, be on the radar for?
Yeah, we got this kid Tom Pags. He's 5-1 amateur. He's on like a 3-fight win streak. First round knockouts under Rob's tutelage. Rob would be his head coach, and he just put in the work. He got beat up all camp by Calvin to be mimic Max Holloway, and the kid's just he's young, he's hungry, he's training just like these guys do. He's got them as role models. He's got the system in place, and we're looking forward to turning him pro once the pandemic allows, and we'll start getting that next generation of the Cartel boys going.
You looking forward to your first UFC belt this year, or maybe even 2?
We're trying to get 2 belts, but we're not even looking forward to that. We're looking at defending the belts. So, these guys want to stay active, and the belts have always been the goal, but, we always change the goals. And the goals now aren't to just win a belt, but we're going to start thinking about how we're going to defend them.
Interesting. Well, congrats again on Coach of the Year. Great year for you guys. And as I said earlier, seems like a bigger 2021 on the horizon for you guys. So appreciate the time.
Thank you.